Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday. Friday for me, happy day to you, whatever day it is. I'm so excited to record today. And to start, the beverage of the day is Canada Dry Fruit Splash. I am not being paid to say this. Cheers. Boop. I thought this one was going to be seasonal, but it's still in stores so far. From what I've seen last time I was in the store, and I'm really happy about that. And just to get into the topic, yesterday my fiance and I attended a meeting, and all this week, honestly, we've been in meetings. And our first introduction to this group of people, I've noticed that they've invited us in the conversation. And the meeting on, I think it was Tuesday, maybe earlier this week, the presenter addressed my fiance, called out his name, and let him respond, asked him different questions in the middle of the presentation to get people engaged. And yesterday's meeting, different presenter did the same thing. Called on my fiance and asked him a question, said, what would you like to do if you had this opportunity? How would you approach it? And I noticed that. And then the more I thought about it, I realized how beautiful it is that people are recognizing my fiance and just paying that much attention to him, that they want to include him in the conversation, to learn about him, hear what his aspirations are, and different things like that. And if they recognize him, I realize that they will also recognize me because I am with him. I am by his side, and I could not be mad at that. I'm just happy that they remember his name and that they see him, because that is an opportunity for him to shine. And to get more into that, I could have been jealous, I could have been angry and said, why are they calling on him? Why aren't they calling on me? Or what about what I have to say? And there were times where they did let me speak. They would ask both of us a question and we both had an opportunity. But there were those occasions, as I just named earlier, where he had the floor. And I could have easily went down that path of being jealous and spiteful and angry. And as I just said, if he has the spotlight, I already have the spotlight because I'm with him. So the reason why letting him have the spotlight is so important is because he is the head of the household. He is a leader. He is a man. That is part of a man's role, is to lead, to take charge, to work the room, and to use his voice, because the people that we have been meeting with really value marriage, family, relationships, unity. So the men that he has been speaking with, they want to gauge the type of man that my fiance is, to know if he is someone that they want to be involved with. And if they want to be involved with him, they want to be involved with me. And if he, with him being a man of character, and this just goes for anyone, if a man has a great character, again, knows how to lead, knows how to work a room in a respectful way and not an immature way, if a man has that maturity to work a room and to use his voice, they people will gravitate toward that. And the last thing that I need to be doing is being jealous of him having the spotlight. And the reason why that's so important is because, again, they're gauging who my fiance is. And so if I'm acting a fool and cutting up, they're going to look at him and say, I don't think we really want to be involved with you because you may be a great man, but if you have a woman by your side that is acting a fool, that says a lot about you and the company you keep. They don't care if you have a crazy cousin that's acting a fool, but it could be anybody, whoever you choose to bring to important events and meetings to meet these people, they're going to pay attention. He could have brought his mom. It could have been the same thing. If he brought his mom and she were respectful and graceful and elegant, that would matter. That would signify something great about that interaction. Same thing, his mom could have been rude, disrespectful, acting a fool, and they would still look at him and say, ouch. No disrespect to you, but the company you keep is a red flag for us. So, ladies, being the eye candy does not have to be disrespectful. What I mean by that is people will automatically pay attention to a woman. Women can just sit or walk in a room or just stand there and people are going to look. Women, we already grab attention just for being a woman. Everybody wants to be around a woman. Now, because women are already grabbing attention, people are going to want to engage with you more based on that appearance they see. Now, this is not so much about whether people are attracted to you or not, and it's more about if people like what they see in a woman, they will ask questions. They will want to learn more about her and dig deeper to figure out who she is and if there's someone that they want to be around. And whether that is to sleep with them or to do business with them or to be friends with them, to build a relationship, people will want to do that with women based on what they see. And so I'm sure you all have heard this before, where there may be a woman that may not be attractive to the majority of society, but the way she carries herself makes her pop and shine. A lot of people have come as celebrities for the women they've dated. They may see a man and say, he's a 10, but his wife is like a 2 or 3. What is she doing with him? He looks better than her and I look I look better than her. I could easily be his wife. He doesn't need her. But there's probably something about her character that makes her beautiful to him, and that's why he chose her. And I just watched a video last week where the woman said, instead of coming at me and bashing me, you call me a 4 and my husband a 10, you should be asking me for tips on how I got this 10 of a husband to marry me. And take notes, because on the flip side, we have seen women that have been considered beautiful to majority of society and their attitude is trash, and no one wants to be around them. Their looks begin to fade, and they're still alone, they're single, and they're crying out for help because they thought they could use their looks to get whatever they want. And eventually, that man said, "This is not enough for me. You may look good, but I want the peace, I want the respect." That's why women cry all the time. "That's who you cheated on me with? She's ugly." It's not about that. Clearly, it's not about that. Because to point out that you think another woman is ugly shows how ugly your spirit is. So, going back to being the eye candy, you can walk in a room and just look presentable. Your hair can be nice and styled well. Your outfit can be appropriate and presentable, especially in professional settings. They're looking for that professional attire. And if you look presentable already, people will be intrigued by that. And the way you carry yourself with confidence, having your head high, having a great posture, that will draw attention where people may say, at first I wasn't attracted, but now I am. Like, now I'm fully intrigued by this woman. So, women, we don't have to go out of our way to grab attention because we already grab it. And if you want to dig deeper, our curves, the way we've been sculpted, that already grabs attention. Now, I know the curves look different for every woman, but the way God has sculpted us, it is just hypnotizing to people. There's a fruit fly. I hope it doesn't get in my ginger ale. But that's what I mean is just women. We are our features. It just grabs the attention of others, especially men. Now, in addition to being the eye candy, not just with appearance, but again, because you're grabbing attention already, let your man shine and have the spotlight. Because when people are asking my fiance questions, that gave him the opportunity to shine and to be himself and to cultivate relationships. And when people wanted to know more about me, they asked questions. If I want to know more, I can speak up and ask questions. I can also engage in conversations. But there is a time and place for everything. And if we want men to lead, we have to allow them to do their work. So that means engaging in conversations and maybe taking up more space, because we should trust our men to gauge if these are people we want to be in contact with, if this person is safe to be around with, or if there's a risk in this environment. As I said in an earlier video, men like to sit facing the door in restaurants and different establishments to see who's coming in so that they can know if this person is a risk or not. Men like to assess for safety because they have been conditioned to do so. Men are always expected to be the protector, not just of themselves, but the people around them. So that is why men need the spotlight at times, is to speak to people and again, working the room. And all I had to do was stand there and support him and be myself. And I used to be a woman that wanted attention, that went out of my way to get people to notice me. It didn't work out. It backfired because people noticed me all right, but I made a fool out of myself. So I don't want to wear myself and on display and on my sleeve and just say, look at me, and just lay it all out on the table. I don't want to do that. It's okay to be mysterious. It's okay to not give it all away and give people a chance to get to know you. And that's what I mean by eye candy is we don't have to do too much. And that then allows for us to observe and to sit back and to read the room, look at who we're engaging with, who's around us. And the beautiful thing about that my fiance and I hear often is how much people love us as a couple. And it it sounds great to hear. It of course is great because I want people to love us. But what the reason that's so important is because people will want to gravitate towards us, but we have options to decide if we want people in our space. Now, if people did not love us and did not want to be around us, ouch. So it's nice to have some people that want to be around us. And when I say that gives us options, I mean we're not desperate for attention. We're not desperate for company. Because imagine if no one likes you. The first time you get attention, you may be ready to hold on with all your might and power because you don't know the next opportunity you'll have to get this type of attention. So it comes with desperation, it comes with settling. And I love being in a position where I can choose and I can decide if this person is worth keeping in my life or not. And because women are different from men, we just simply notice different things. And let men do what they do and just focus on doing what you need to do. Just be yourself. And when it's your turn, you can shine. When it's his turn, let him shine. And this goes for other women as well because at this meeting, we were talking to a lot of people, a lot of men, a lot of women, but we were together. And ladies, don't be jealous of when your man is engaging with other women. You're there with him. And I think that is just an opportunity again to be your best self because that jealousy will shine. And I know people say it's like I'm here with you, or women will say, I don't care what he does because he always comes home to me. Um, yes, that is great. And I think that should only apply for a man that is deserving of it. And so if you know you are with a man that gives you reasons to trust him, that takes care of you and keeps his word, you have no reason to be jealous of when he's engaging with other women. And so it's okay to have that confidence to know that when you're with him and when you're not with him, that he is honoring you and respecting you by keeping other women at a reasonable distance. They don't have to get too close to him. So you don't have to worry about if they're flirting because he will notice and he will say, nope, respectfully, you have to back up. I cannot entertain this. So, all of this to say, I hear often that being eye candy is disrespectful because women say, I'm more than my looks. So I don't want to just be seen as eye candy because And throughout the history of TV, the eye candy has been seen as ditzy and superficial and very shallow. If people are assuming that about you without giving you a chance, it says more about them than it does you. So, you don't have to pretend, you don't have to put on a show, you don't have to force your intelligence into the room, because then you will be the ditzy eye candy. People will make fun of you. So, I'm speaking on a graceful and elegant eye candy that is supportive of your man and respectful and sharing the spotlight with him. Because a woman that is confident is not looking for attention. She knows that she may get it, but she's not desperate for it. She's not eager. She's not looking for people to validate her. Because a confident woman can walk into a room and leave without getting validation. No compliments, nothing. And that won't change her confidence because she's already getting that from God and from herself, and likely the man she's with, maybe friends and family. So she's carrying that already by herself. She's not looking for it. But a woman that isn't so confident is looking for that, is desperate for attention, usually very loud and just speaking without thinking clearly and just impulsive with their words. Those are the women that people want to avoid. And don't let that be you. So, with all of that being said, very short video, straight to the point. That was my intention because I knew, I thought about this yesterday on the way home after reflecting on the event, and I said, wow, I love that people are recognizing my fiance. Like, that's great, because that means that they are also just intentional about getting to know us, and they're making an effort to remember us by name and important details about our life that we've been sharing with them, and it just feels very genuine. And being in that environment is so refreshing because that doesn't happen often. So it's nice to soak it in when people are very genuine in that way and kind. And we get to reciprocate that because we are growing relationships. So, like I said, we can have the spotlight, other people can have the spotlight. People take turns. Just take turns. You will have your opportunity to shine. And like the sun, like the moon, they're always shining. And just depends on where you're standing. They're shining differently. So that can be you. Just because someone else is speaking doesn't mean you're not shining. You can still shine, but just keep your mouth closed and know when to speak and continue to listen. We should be learning more than we are teaching. Continue to be a student of life and be a sponge. There is information is constantly flowing for us to utilize and apply and decide what's worth holding on to and what's not. So that's what I reflected on yesterday, and the more I thought about it, I said, wow, it felt good to just be present and to not be hateful and and to just be supportive, because another example that happened yesterday is someone complimented me by saying, "Oh, your fiance is a lucky man." And I said, "Thank you. I will let him know." Now, in that short interaction I had with those gentlemen, they decided to say that about my fiance. He's a lucky man. And I think that is beautiful because that's what I want people to see. And it's not just about seeing it, it's about living it, giving people reasons to say that. And that means being respectful, being supportive, and that is attached to the eye candy position, in my opinion, is that, as I said, if the man you're with is leading and working the room in a great, lovable way, with you being graceful and elegant and kind and respectful, they're going to say he is a lucky man. Like, that is a great position to have, is to know that people notice the way you carry yourself and they can see your beauty and pat your man on the back and say, "Wow, you did great." And not that they're jealous. We don't want them to be jealous of us. But it's nice that they can recognize that and admire that. Because then, again, it gives people an opportunity to ask questions and maybe get tips to say, "Wow, like, dude, where'd you find her?" Men say it all the time. Does she have sisters? Does she have friends? They're looking. So if you want to be a friend that is hooked up with an eligible man, ask ask your friend for tips. Ask your sister for tips. If you see her husband is a gentleman, her boyfriend, fiance, ask her, "Where'd you find him? What can I do?" Women say all the time, "Sierra's prayer, Sierra's prayer." Yes, Sierra said a prayer, but look at what she did to get Russell. It wasn't just praying. I don't know the ins and outs. It's not my business to know the ins and outs. We only know what she tells us, and we only know by her public appearance the type of woman she is, and how that is a reflection of her marriage. So you can decide if you want to model what Sierra's doing, you can expect to get the type of man she has. And look at the men that are drawn to her. If the men that are drawn to her seem to have value and respect and to be men of God, that means what Sierra's doing is on the right path. Otherwise, if you look at the men and they're the Pookies and Ray Rays and they're just up to no good, and if that's all she's attracting, you can then question again, what in the world is she doing that these men are attracted to her? Pay attention. So everyone will be looking. They want to know. And they're going to surround themselves with people that they can admire, which is why I said again, it's nice to have options, because people like us, they want to hang out with us, and we're giving them reasons to. But be in a position where you can choose to say, "Oh, it's okay, this person wants to hang out with me, but do I want to hang out with them?" So that is all from me on this beautiful Friday. Take another sip. I think my ginger ale is fruit fly free. So take another sip. That is all though from me. So be encouraged. Be encouraged. The biggest takeaway from this message is to really invest in how you represent yourself, how you represent your man, your family. All of it matters. Invest in how you carry yourself. Start with love. Love is the best gift in the world. When you start with love, the rest will follow: the kindness, the respect, the generosity. It will all follow. So start with love, and it's okay to be eye candy. It's okay to be eye candy. And on the outside and on the inside, people will see that eye candiness. And the biggest takeaway: let your man have the spotlight. Share the spotlight. It's not all about you. In all relationships, let people have the spotlight. It will never just be about you. Ouch, I know. But it's the truth. We gotta share. We gotta share the space. So with love, with love, until next time, peace out.